Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Aham avero homi abhyapajjo homi anigo homi Sukhi attanang pariharami ti. Dear Venerables and my friends, the word or the stanza or the phrase that I have presented was a kind of a formula given by the Buddha for a newcomer to practice loving kindness or friendliness in a traditional way. It has been further developed during the time of the commentarial age and in traditional Thero other countries like Burma, Thailand and Sri Lanka very commonly practice this as a samatha method or concentration or calm kind of meditation. And when I was practicing Mettha Bhavana under the tutelage of U Pandita Sayadaw in Burma, after practicing about 2 years, he asked to practice this samatha method also, and he gave a very lucid, very practical and very pragmatic kind of instructions based upon this phrase. According to his presentation, the Mettha Bhavana or loving kindness, you can practice with 4 these phrases. The very first one, Aham avero homi, is much suitable for the hateful characters. If someone can understand, my problem is reaction, my problem is short-temperedness and the hatred, the phrase he or she must recite frequently and keep it in the mind or note is Aham avero homi, may I be free of hatred. And whenever someone is having kind of a physical ailments, having sicknesses in the sense, physical, then if that is the impediment for your progress or for your punctuality, for your regular practice, he or she can instead take Abhyapajjo homi. Abhyapajja means, may I be free from physical ailments. Abhyapada and Abhyapajja, these two terms are usually mixing and mingling each other, but with 2 shades of meanings. Abhyapada means free of hatred. Abhyabada means free of diseases. But now the medical science proved the hatred is the root cause for diseases. So these two are coinciding, 2 terms. The main reason for someone to fall into sick is the hatred. Earlier, medical science used to say the asthma or rashes in your skin is basically due to psychosomatic, and therefore if you keep the mind free of hatred, free of reaction and short-temperedness, it is essential part for relieving for asthma and skin diseases. Like now, they say each and every disease is psychosomatic, and because of your irrational hatred, it's called asthana kopa in Pali. Asthana kopa, there's a valid reason. There are 9 pointed out. They have some reason, but some people become so sick so addicted to react, they get asthana over baseless kind of a reaction, baseless kind of a hatred. So that is leading to complicated kind of physical diseases. When such a situation happens, aham abhyapajyo ani avero abhyapajyo homi, may I be free of hatred. And the other ones, anigo homi, may I be free from mental diseases. Mental disease also attributed to this kind of a asthana kopa. They are always harboring, always entertaining some kind of a friction. There's a black hole in the mind, so we are always visiting that. So we have friends, equally we have enemies. Anyone who is entertaining friends, that means he has enough seated, already prepared seats for enemies. So you have to understand that is creating kind of a vibration. Always mind become disturbed, distracted, and not at peace, not in the middle. The last one, Sukhi Attanam Pariyarami, may I use this life in a comfortable way. This is for the intelligent people, wise people. They have no basically hatred as such in their personality traits, in their character, and they are fairly free from serious diseases, physical and mental. Still, they have to love their body. They have to love their posture. They have to love their present moment. Sukhi Attanam Pariharami. In Sinhala, we call Indum Hitum Pahatukam. So, if you wish to learn Sukhi Attanam Pariharami, just see that cat. It's so simple. Wherever it is may be, it's very comfortable. It's very cheap. Or otherwise, look at a child below age 6. They're always comfortable. They are utterly naked, very happy. They are lying maybe on their own urine, very happy. Maybe lying on their own the shit, still they are very happy. And they will vomit upon their own chest, very happy. Only the mother is sorry. But what will happen if you are going to vomit now here? Such agony. We are so tensed. We can't. Because of our kind of taboo social norms and manners, very difficult. So therefore, wise people, they have to understand, if you wish to have a way of life fairly free of hatred, fairly free of mental and physical diseases, you have to be mindful on your posture. So the Buddha presented 4 cardinal postures: standing, lying down, sitting, standing up, and walking. So these are the 4 points whereby the Buddha used to introduce mindfulness, and out of these 4 postures, if you take Satipatthana Sutta or Anapanasati Sutta, kind of thing, he teach mindfulness, or to be mindful on your posture, basically on sitting posture. So therefore, later, after 2600 years, everyone came to the notion meditation means sitting. Today it is irrevertible. Anyone, if you say, shall we go and have a meditation? Oh, I can't sit, therefore I can't come. So it's like agony to sit and cross-legged and waiting. So therefore, meditation means sitting. But if you continue with this Satipatthana Sutta, Anapanasati Sutta, or that kind of instructions, the Buddha, whenever he is introducing mindfulness as such, he referred to the walking posture, he referred to the standing posture, he referred to the lying down posture. So these things we never consider as a way of meditation or way of mindfulness. So therefore, within a day, you can have 84,000 posture junctions. 84,000 iriyav. That's all what you call yogic exercises. 84 yoga asanas. Each and every one asana has 1,000 shades. So 84,000. So whatever the posture you are in a yogic position. You go to India to learn yoga, but you are already in yoga. You don't know. Because you are not concerned, you are not mindful, you are not alert, you are not diligent on your present moment. So whenever you are aware that I am sitting, I sit comfortably, I sit symmetrically, and I sit in a relaxed way, it is contributing to the mindfulness as well as loving kindness. Tittang charang nisinnoa sayanoa yavatasa vigatamitto etang sating aditteya brahma metang viharang idamahu. Whether you are lying down, whether you are standing, walking, sitting, as far as you are not in the deep sleep, you are almost like a Brahma. Your life is Brahmacharya. But we don't know. We are already in Brahmacharya, we don't know. So we don't get the credit. We don't get the due endowment. So mindfulness is reminding you, make yourself a little comfortable, and that is also part and parcel. That is why we are coming to a center like here. Imagine if you are at home now, what a kind of torturing, what a kind of load of work, what a kind of responsibilities. You are like crucified. So that excruciating pain. But here we come, of course, we have to have the macroclimate whereby you can sit comfortably. We can spread ourselves and sit comfortably. And how much we are appreciating, how much we are diverting our mind, direct our mind to feel that I am happy, that I am comfortable in sitting, I am walking comfortably, I am stand up and comfortable, lying down comfortable. So do you need any foreign experts to be comfortable? You have to just ask your body knowledge. Hey guy, are you comfortable? You have to ask from your body. You never consult. You consult Einstein. You consult Isaac Newton. You consult the doctors. You consult lawyers. You consult bank managers. They are torturing people. They are torturers. So when we are learning science in the university, in the schools, we hate these guys because unwanted formulas and things to remember and to write and go to the exam. If we fail, we fail. Utterly nonsense, useless. We had a professor. He used to come and divide the blackboard into two and used to say the number of scientists they have found, this is the kind of seed, this is the viability, this is the longevity, and this is the year. And the end of the class, it's full of data, names of scientists and years. So he expects the same blackboard representation in the answering paper. So those who have that photostat memory, they get first class, second class. I just managed third class. That's a big achievement. It's utter nonsense. You don't know whether you are sitting or standing. So this is the present day education. More you try to be standardized and civilized and in the formal way, more you are losing who am I? Where am I? What am I? So the question came that how this mindfulness leading to vipassana as well as samatha. Mindfulness leading to the present moment. Or rather, remove misleading. Our mind is 24 hours either in the past or in the future or in someone else, thinking about someone else and something somewhere else. And whenever you bring the mind knowingly, as a spiritual endeavor also, as a healthy way, physical, mental, you can see how quickly mind is jumping from the present moment. Never happy. Whenever it comes to the present moment, you feel foreign-like, you feel odd. You never feel at home. Whenever you are thinking heavily on the past and worrying and future and the excitement, it's become a normal. Today that is what become the norm. So whenever you come to the present moment, and if you are to continue this thought moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thought moments, and anyone ask anyone, how do you verify that you are mindful? What did you experience? No one can tell. No language can explain it. It's so profound. So therefore people think it is not human. To be here, to be now, and I am sitting, now I am talking, you people are listening, and to how do you verify whenever you are here and now? Impossible. So therefore, beginning, the middle and end of the mindfulness is that. Wherever you may be, there you are. And if you are a person never heard about, never thought about, never taken any chance, you are utterly living in that kind of unmindful moments. And whenever mind comes to the present moment, you feel something odd. You feel it is irresponsible. I must think about my children, I must think about my bank account, I must think about the politics, I must think about the Sinhalese Buddhism. That everything you appear like your prime duty, that to bring the mind to the here and now. Never think as a possibility, never think as a potential. So whenever you come to the present moment, both the way. One thing is, you are sympathetic to your own body, Sukhi yattanam pariharami, and therefore you become physically and mentally healthy, and you live only in the present moment, or whenever you are mindful, you are living, otherwise you are dreaming, you are floating, you don't know what is happening. So any knowledge came without mindfulness, without the present moment, it's utter nonsense. It is called worldly knowledge, lokavoha. And you will be very expert on these kind of things. More and more you become expert on these worldly affairs, less and less opportunities and skillfulness to be simply, honestly, innocently be here and now. So, if one can understand with one's own knowledge that I am robbing my present moment due to my responsibilities and duties and I kind of think, all these responsibilities and duties are foreign to us at our birth. We are not bound to this kind of thing. It is happening halfway. It's a gate crasher, so it's on the way. And now it has taken overwhelm you. You are utterly worrying about. You never think you came to this, in this life, to this human being to understand who am I, what am I, things as they are. You think that it is impossible in this dispensation. It's better to wait till the Buddha, the Mettha comes. Then he will give a blessing and you will be quickly enlightened. Just like entering into the intercity bus. Entering, and next time you are directly in the destiny. So why should worry? So much we are cheating. These all are called escapism. A lot of things to escape yourself. And the question, whenever you become a real mindful person, try to be awakening into the present moment, diligent and vigilant, you feel isolated life. You feel unsocial life. You feel the friction for the socialized people. They are not happy that you try to be mindful. They think you are very selfish. You are concerned your own business. So they will come and say, hey darling, don't do it like that. Do little bit, but don't go for much because you are losing your responsibilities, and therefore there's a kind of phobia in the society at large towards a meditator, towards a mindful person. So when Venerable Dhammika, Sravasti Dhammika teaching me at 1778, as an undergraduate, he told, if you are really serious to be mindful, don't let anyone know that you try to be mindful. That's the most disturbing thing. Because the beauty of mindfulness is you can be mindful without telling others, without having white clothes, without having a bapane or that shoulder cloth, can be mindful. The Buddha says, as you are going up and down, looking here and there, stretching and bending the arm, each and every posture junction, he mentioned, these are the opportunities for you to be mindful. Not necessarily you have to declare, telling I am a mindful person. So people come and ask, are you mindful? Then I say, sometimes I do. I appear like it's a mistake. So at that time my age was 26. So Venerable Dhammika told at that time, no one will appreciate this path. Everyone consider this as a threat, a violation of the social norm. My mother was not happy, family members are not happy, friends are not happy, Kamei Hamaduro, the monk at the temple, not happy. I was working with one another person, he's a lay person, he told, be careful, now you are going to step into a very dangerous and uncertain area. Why don't you go slowly with these other rituals and kind of thing, instead going to mindfulness. So immediately I understand, it's my mistake, I told him. So if you are taking drugs, don't tell others. It's a common sense. So he is robbing money from his own mother and go for drugs. Mother don't know, because at home he is very normal. And after a while only you can understand he is quite abnormal in feeding and sleeping and kind of thing. Mindfulness also the same. So therefore, if you wish to be mindful, if you wish to really hard, you have to learn ways and means. Wherever you may be, you must be happy. It's called Glad Game. I try to introduce Pollyanna. It's a very famous book for all the children. Please buy a copy by Eleanor Porter. The Pollyanna is a very orphanage girl at the age 6, and so utterly unlucky according to the normal social standard. And father was a Catholic father. It's a very poor person. He also died. And he teach Pollyanna a game, glad game. You must try to find a reason to be glad under any circumstances. So Pollyanna and father and playing it before the death. So the first example happened, Pollyanna, the mother died, poor girl, and asking a doll or playthings, and father has no any money to buy it. He says, next missionary bag, bring 15 twice a month, a missionary bag come to the church, maybe some dolls. So Pollyanna is expecting utterly next bag is full of dolls. But only bag came with the crutches. It's only usable for a person who has broken his leg. So Pollyanna is protesting against the father. Now you cheated me. You told me that next bag will bring the doll, but you see what it was. So how can be glad one with the crutcher? The person who is expecting a doll. The father so thoughtful, he says, Pollyanna, you must be happy your leg is not broken. She says, this is not a game you have to teach me. How can I be happy that I am crying for a doll and getting a scratch and you are teaching me? It's a reminder that you are not broken your leg. And soon father died, and ultimately she teach this came to the whole village of her auntie. It's a bureaucrat, the bourgeoisie, rich lady considered Pollyanna as a unwanted girl. And at the end of the story, she teach each and everyone. And ultimately, at the end, Pollyanna met with that accident, broken leg. And story finishes. So when I was in Panditarama, Pandita Sayadaw says that Illinois Porter must be labeled as Madam Mettha. This is the crux of Mettha. You must try to find a reason to be glad under any circumstances, because our mind is always finding reason to be worried. That is what you call Putujjana. That is what you call the commoner. Always see the dark side. Instead, Pollyanna is teaching, the Navalli is teaching, you must see only the silver line in the dark cloud. When you are sitting comfortably, how happy. When you are walking on the ground with the full foot, both the legs, and if you can be happy that I am walking on the Mother Earth. So what a kind of a healthy thing, what a kind of physical and mental healthy thing. But we don't accept it because it is so simple. This universal answer, the Buddha presented it, Eka eno ayam bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhya. Oh monk, this is the one and the only way for the purification of the being. And now we are following so much of other instructions within the 24 hours a day. This scientist, this doctor, this lawyer, this banker, this and that. And how many minutes or how many seconds or how many cycles of breaths you are try to be mindful and consider this as the one and the only way. And being Buddhists, be as instructed people, we find, we need, we wish, but we can't. Why? We hate I hate myself. I hate the present moment. Each and every one of us hate oneself. That is why we are going for beautification. If you love yourself, what a kind of beautification? Already beautiful. Instead you try to be dutiful. So you become ugly at the age of 50, 55, going to pension, finished. Next you have to expect the house for elders. So it's a breakdown. You are invalid coin now. Because the supreme age, the beautiful age from 6 to 30 maybe, we are spending time for learning. Then you make the mind square. And then start working for others. At the 55, I am also belongs to that, and I know many of you are there. Then says, Bhante, I wish to be mindful, but eyesight is no good. I can't hear you, what you are telling. I can't sit and wait. I can't do away with the dinner. Is there any method? Then I better say, you better wait till the Mettha of the Buddha comes. He will make you enlightened. Oh yes, Bhante, that how much I can pay and where I can put my name and everything, blah blah blah, so much of things. But mindfulness itself says, even with the recent researchers, never too late. Never too late if you can understand that is the root cause for loving kindness. It's the root cause or proximate factor for the vipassana. But each and everyone has to accept, and you also will second my proposal, it is painfully slow. It's painfully slow. That is why I call it profound. Don't try to be smart. Don't try to accelerate things. Slowly understand incorporating at least 1 split second a day to be mindful. And that's a huge break-even point. Because you have to appreciate it, and you have to verify that I am mindful, and you have to make a plan, and next day, may I be mindful only for 2 split seconds and 3 split seconds. So there's a famous story or commentary. There was one monk, he used to do walking meditation after the lunch. So we monks use a stick like this as a toothpick or brush we prepare in a traditional way. He used to brush his teeth and clean and throw it out of the window. After 7 years, one day he go there, he found a huge mountain of thrown away pieces. He never expect that kind of accumulation. Then he contemplated, he says, what will happen if I can read a book, one line of a length like a toothpick. One day, 6 inches. You are learning one day. For example, you take a canon, Pali canon, and one line you will study one day and by heart it. And 7 years time, how much you can do? So equally, if you can say, when I am brushing my teeth, 1 split second, telling I am brushing my teeth. So when I presented myself to Venerable Dhammika, I told one day, I am living in a house, 13 people we don't have rooms, we don't have tables, so much of sharing, I can't hide meditating, so therefore impossible. Sitting meditation impossible because I am such a dynamic person, I can't sit and wait simply. Now I am 67, at that time only 26, imagine. And if I am going to walk up and down, a young, robust young man going to up and down walking, people will come and say, girlfriend has given a boot, some kind of a problem. So I gave one after the other explanation telling Bandev, you are good, I like, but then he introduced brushing teeth. Daily, take one chance. At that time we brushed it only once, morning. Now after becoming a monk, at least we have to do after the lunch. So then I studied, whenever we are brushing our teeth, how much you are unmindful. You up to yourself. You are in front of your mirror and you are in the washroom or at your well. If you are brushing teeth, and when it's going to continue, what a kind of accumulation. Later, the dentist, Professor Vijayratna, came, and when he was complaining, telling he was very busy, then I told, you can take the brushing time. But I am a dental professor, so I will bring all my students to teach them. Each day you can be mindful while brushing teeth. So I told, that is what we did. We made a video clip also for the children to make it. So therefore, making a habit of or taking time to be mindful in brushing is utterly sure it's good for your mental and physical health. Utterly sure, daily you get at least few minutes to be mindful. And you will understand what the unmindful way we are leading. What absent-mindedness is not the proper term, unmindfulness way, and how many life cycles you would have done it in the past, and how many we would do in time to come. We are not going to give a kind of a break-even point, and after taking the break-even point, you have to be very thoughtful to find the ways and means, according to my life cycle, where can I be mindful daily. And later, slowly, you can introduce who Dhammika Sayadaw, Dhammika Venerable Dhammika told me it's an in-crop system. In a warfare, if the guerrillas are fighting or it's a conventional war, the in-crop system is you fly with a helicopter sort of thing to the enemy's area and drop soldiers, clusters, 4 5 here, 4 5 there, and no one knows. And when they are operating, slowly clearing the ground, ultimately they reach the other cluster. Every area will be come under the surveillance of that special task force soldiers. So likewise, if you are using in the olden system, if you are using a fountain pen, we used to have a blotting paper. The first time you wipe the blotting paper, you get one dot in the blotting paper. And next time you are using again a dot. Ultimately all the blotting paper will become black or blue. The white change into black or blues. Likewise, your day, one day, 24 hours is like a blotting paper. At least have a one dot mindfulness. Next day another dot. One day it will be mindful day. And there, not only you become physically and mentally healthy, not only you will understand who am I, you will understand kind of a immunity is developing within you. It's a huge thing, kind of a self-confidence and immunity, so that even if you go to a place which is with a low kind of livelihood and insecure place and dirty places and people are not concerned about mindfulness, you can find your way amidst of all the kind of bad luck, how to be mindful. You are not talking about, you are not expecting something, you know the ways and means. So therefore, not only it is developing in a linear system, it's developing like a matrix. Life skills, lot of life skills you are developing, and neuroscientists, they say after so much of research, the potential wise or the possibility wise, we are all the same. If you wish to be mindful, you have the merits, you have the potential, you have the possibilities. So day by day you have to assimilate to be more and more mindful. And after a while, at the beginning it is painfully slow, as I mentioned. After a while, it becomes like a hobby. As if you scouts go and drop into a forest and ask to do improvisation and impromptu adjustments, and it will be like adventure. You are living in a very comfortable house, but go to a jamboree and try to live in a fireplace and make use all what is available. So likewise, each and every one of us having so much of capacity. Only thing is wrong attitude, wrong perspective. So that is why Buddha says, whenever it is going to the high degree meditation, first and foremost is samadhi, a correct view. If it is wrong, the correct thought will never happen. Will be always with wrong thoughts. Then you are with always with wrong words. Then you are always with wrong deeds. Always with wrong livelihood. And you become exhausted, you are lethargic and boring and monotonous and fearful and uncertain and frustration, tension, hysteria, so much of the list. So you cannot be mindful. So when you come out of the Noble Eightfold Path, before the mindfulness to be full-fledged, first and foremost is your correct view. That correct view, no one is born with. No one is born with the correct view. For that, the Buddha says, Dveme pacha bhikkhave sammaditya upadaya. For monks, there are two proximate causes for the correct view to arise. Paratocha goso ajjata yoniso manasikaro. You have to listen to someone, enlightened being, or that lineage. It never happened by an accident. Our mind is completely twisted. It is misdirected. Anything mind-made is ugly. Anything mind-made is dirty. Anything mind-made is misleading. So our mind has to accept, my mind is already misled, but animal can't. I can understand with these features, this is how it makes friction. This is how it makes frustration. This is how it is become depressed. And that understanding is not a wrong thing. It's a sign. Your mind is radical. Your mind is adventurous. Your mind is like a scouting. Your mind is like a girl guide. You know your mistake and declare openly with another co-practitioner. So therefore, Paratocha Goso, Ajata Yodiso Mansikara, you must have, internally you must have radical reflection. Don't expect someone come and help you, or someone come and save you, or someone come and lead you. Never. Never in this, on this earth. Anyone can mislead you. Especially the present-day advertisements, present-day marketing system, present-day education, present-day health sector, present-day media, present-day law, present-day banking system. They are organized, detrimental 6 signs. But still, when you are solitude and you are practicing, and when you come here like that, all these political, social and economic things are invalid. We are just try to be simply, be here and now. We are just walking on the earth and try to be happy. Sit comfortably and try to be happy. Stand still, comfortably happy. Not expecting anything. So your sovereignty, your contentment, you occasionally feel it. Not all the time. Occasionally you feel whenever you depend upon someone, there may be a quick gain, but in long term, you are in debt. So mindfulness, account balance is then and there, akalika. No time gap. Moment you're mindful, you are the first person understand there's something now happening, I am mindful. Maybe it is not articulable. You can't articulate it, you can't express in the words. But you feel it. Never take time. All the other things take time. Kalika. This is akalika. So therefore I myself think, if you learn, if you feel, if you experience this akalika mindfulness verifiable, exactly that is what they call Nibbana. That is exactly Nibbana. This is a sign. I am here, I know. I am here and now. Not only that, you are appreciating it. Not only that, you know it is one thing I gain in this very life. And if you can maintain this thought moment longer, it is up to you. But you are broken through and the changeover thing happen. So you have to think about with what kind of words I can increase the thought moment of mindfulness. With what kind of deeds, physical, I can be more mindful. With what kind of a livelihood, I can be more and more mindful. So therefore you have to be tactful, but don't try to accelerate. Do it in a slow manner so that no one can feel. Then only you see that more and more you restrain, verbally, physically and in your livelihood, kind of an energy comes into being. Sometimes people call that cosmic energy, healing power, whatever the name you can give it. But you feel it morning to evening. No exhaustion. And without that kind of a sustainable energy, very difficult to maintain mindfulness morning to evening. So at the beginning you can't, because you are exhausted. Whenever you try to be mindful, and the whole 12 hours, 18 hours job, you can do it within 8 hours. A lot of space. I started job in 1982 while I'm doing postgraduate in a Norwegian company. So I went as the assistant production manager first job. And while doing only, I completed my postgraduate. So I resigned, or not only resigned, I am being kicked off. By 6 years, there I was the CEO. I did everything. Labor management, security, foreign business, research and development, recruitment, going foreign, everywhere. One day, the managing director, he came with the white clothes and we sit on the ground. He says, "Tell me, what is the secret?" I was what? Because I gave so much of task, everything you can perform. So this is the maximum salary I can give you. If it is so 50% you have to pay as you earn, so therefore I can't increase the salary, that's it. Then I don't know, I can't explain so much. But I know the secret to mindfulness, one thing at a time, and that done well. Don't worry about so much of things. Do one thing at a time. So I don't feel like that because you are handling so much, but I told everything I take it as a hobby. I have still a capacity. So he says, I am also born with such a family. In Norway, there are no families like ours because we are 6 brothers and sisters. My father developed a company, it's a foliage industry. He told, I will give all the properties to you 6 people before my death. If you are ready to have a closed door, locked door meeting without the spouse. So therefore you have to promise me all 6 are going to meet as the board of directors, then I am going to give this thing. So when I am learning, I just wanted to take part in our sports meet. I told father, I must have a pair of shoes with the spikes to run. He told, no. You have to run barefoot and earn the first place, second place, then only I will give you spikes. Spikes are not going to run, you have to run. Daily when I come back home, there are 6 cows. I have to do milking, I have to do grazing, everything. Otherwise, he is not happy. So this is the way I learn within this life. So I told, I have no such thing, but I am very happy to work in like that. So therefore I think all the workers and everyone was so envious about me. I don't know. And they did that kind of this thing and get out. I was about to become a monk, so it appeared like a blessing in disguise. Otherwise that Suddha fellow will never allow me to go. So that is the best time in my life. I am a lay person, hoping to be a monk, and secret is always try to be mindful and no friction. Wherever you go, it's like a walkover. No one is challenging me. I am not challenging Haman also. So much of opportunities without fighting each other. That is called the least frictional path. And for that, where it is happening, you love, you trust only your abilities. That is because you are always concerned your physical and mental well-being. If you believe it is up to the doctor, or it is up to the psychiatrist, or it is up to your children, or never. They are in the worst situation than me. So you have to trust upon you, and you have to understand I have a long journey to go. So therefore organize the life in such a way, whatever you are talking, you are responsible. Whatever the deeds you are doing, they are going to come back. And whatever the way of life, you can't hide it to your heart. Don't exploit others. Don't interfere into someone's psychology. And still we can have a lot of paths and ways. Still we can hope live a family life. I am not married, but my family members, we are very so closely knit together. We have so much of relationships and no problem. So therefore, mindfulness, the Buddha gave it a very broader meaning. He told one and the only way. Today I am talking only about how it is helping the Mettha Bhavana and the Vipassana. They are very insignificant 2 aspects once you achieved. But at the beginning they are very, very significant. I know it. So I am not trying to introduce mindfulness also to you people, because you are already, even without me, you try to be. But I try to share with you to give more shortcuts. And I am not appreciating shortcuts also. Because you have to find your own way. We have a saying, shortcut is little longer than the normal cut. So you have to, at last what I have to tell is, you have to be happy. You have already achieved, you don't know. You all have already achieved, but you don't know, because you are not self-appreciating kind. Appreciate as much as possible. My birth is on the dispensation of the Buddha. My birth is a human birth. I have the opportunity, Jana Sampatti. We have Dhamma talks. We have good friends. If we wish, we can be a monk. All the 6 opportunities are there, but still we are worrying about trivial things. And meanwhile, not like the other people, we somehow or the other introduce mindfulness also into our life. Therefore, we are somewhat on the track. Don't worry about what you have to do future, what are the mistakes. Think about the way you trod so far. Highly appreciable. It's highly appreciable. More and more you appreciate it, you are accelerating it, because the positive thinking. The Buddha says in Karaniya Metta Sutta, Karaniyam Attakusalena Yantam Santam Padang Abhisamicca Sakko. He who wish his own well-being must behave in such a way, he must have positive thinking. Sakko, Haki Sanya. So already we earn something along with mindfulness. It is never given by parents, never given by the classrooms, never given by our conventional teachers. Somehow or the other we have the way to tackle it, and somehow or the other introduce into that. Appreciating it with that knowledge, if you are going to look the life yet to come, you will see you are fully armed, you are fully equipped. Don't worry about any formula, any knowledge, any expert. Trust upon your own mindfulness. It will assure you the physical, mental health as well as vipassana yet to come. With that remark, I would like to sum up the day's talk. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.